Before we knew it, evening had come and Iba told us it was time for him to depart.
Well, I guess that means goodbye for now, Chizaru.
Okay. Oh my goodness, they're fading faster, guys. Guys, I think I finally figured out how to make everything not be super slow-mo turtle speed anymore. Guys! I mean, as much as we all appreciate the dramaticness of slow-mo transitions and everything, it got a little tiring, and I've been trying for like, I don't know how many parts I'm at now, 7 or whatever? Been trying all this time, like, how can I make it faster? I've done some editing to make it faster for some of the parts that I could, but I think I actually got my potato to work better. Okay, fingers crossed, everybody. Fingers crossed through this episode to see if it continues. His face seemed reluctant, if not a little forlorn, and he left the compound. Sorry, I had to freak out for a second there, because I'm like, recording stuff is doing better. I stared at him as he walked into the distance, until his small figure was removed from my eyeballs. Iba was a mysterious person. Even if he was someone very important and upper class, he acted with integrity and kindness, commanding a lot of respect from the captains of the Shinsengumi. I did not think there was a samurai like him in the shogunate. Ah, his warrior record has been unlocked. Yeah, I was looking at that a second ago. Wanted to run an idea, but man, this is so much faster, guys! Guys! Guys, look how much faster it is! Anyway. This is why it's been freaking... Oh my goodness, my poor potato computer. I fixed it though, I fixed it. So there was supposed to be... I thought that was what was supposed to happen. I wasn't having like a weird blinking episode. Okay, after we get through this bit, I'll explain my idea on the record of service thing. And you guys can let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments below afterwards. August 1864. After the fight at the inn, I was able to leave the compound much more often. I suppose after what I'd done, Hijikata thought I earned a little more trust. I didn't feel like I did anything extraordinary, but I wasn't about to look a gift horse in the mouth. I was genuinely happy that the man Hijikata approved of me. The man, the legend, the myth. So, I wanted to run it by you. Now, if you notice, these guys are all in order. Yeah, I think you can see my mouse now. Look at that. So I noticed that if you go to the next thing, the guy we met last episode, he's at the very end. So, like, his warrior record has not been unlocked yet, which makes me think that he should be left till later. I know I've already kind of hecked up by going Souji instead of Hijikata, but I'm thinking maybe after this I should go in the order that they appear here instead of the order that I met them. It's still mostly the same order, with the exception that Saito would have to wait a turn and him and Hijikata would switch places. These guys were going to be the next anyway, but I would have done Chikage Kazuma, who I'm not supposed to know the name of yet. I would have done him before Iba, but his warrior record has not been unlocked. So let me know in the comments if you'd like me to follow the warrior record going forward from here. I've already invested too much time into my boy Souji, so we're just going to continue with Souji. But should I do Hijikata next, continue with the warrior record, or should I just go in the order I met them like I usually do? I'm leaning towards warrior record though, just because. But you all can let me know what you think. Okay, enough freaking out over your recordings and your ideas and your blurg-a-blurg, and let's get back to the story. On this particular day, I was out on patrol with Harada in the 10th Division. Excellent. Excuse me, Harada. The Shinsengumi is out patrolling day and night, right?
Yeah, that's right. What about it?
But what exactly is it that you do? Most of the men in the Shinsengumi were intimidating, death-dealing titans, but Harada was a rare exception, warm and friendly. Probably a yandere.
Well, I guess we do just about everything. Obviously, we arrest people who want to test out their swords or don't pay for their food.
People who don't pay for food?
And then there's those chumps who think they'll make a living leaning on the merchants.
It wasn't really the answer I'd expected. I guess the Shinsengumi's job is closer to a magistrate's than I thought. Thinking back, I remembered how excited they were during the raid. What they did at the end was far more intense than their day-to-day work. A little further down the road, a couple of men in Shinsengumi blues were waving at us. Nagakura! I guess our separate rounds brought us to the same spot. Nice.
Hey there, Chizaru. You find out anything about your dad?
No, nothing today.
Aw, come on, cheer up. There's always tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. There was something contagious about his optimism. So kind.
Well, Shinpachi, you find anything exciting? No, nothing in particular, but all of the people on the street are acting busy, you know?
I hadn't noticed it before, but he was right. They were acting strange, almost nervous, like they're trying to pretend they're in their normal routine. Yeah, it looks like they're getting ready to move.
You think maybe they're worried about getting caught in the middle of a war?
What? War? There wasn't a war, was there?
Oh yeah, we didn't tell you yet, huh? Well, those Choshu bastards are showing up around Kyoto again, hence our extra rounds. Well, we did give them a bloody nose at Ikeda. I can't imagine they'll just stand around with some of their guys in the ground.
Were the Choshu going to try something again?
Beats me. Kinda hard to tell at the moment. It doesn't matter anyway. We just do our job. The Choshu attack Kyoto, we drive them back. Simple.
They accepted their situation and never complained. I had a good deal of respect for Harada and Nagakura.
If they don't back off soon, we're probably gonna be getting new orders all the way from the top.
So you think the Aizu will give you all orders?
Yeah, they might ask us to join as part of the official shogunate troops. Well, chances like this only come every so often. Who knows when the next one will be? Wanna join us?
What? I was perplexed by his sudden invitation. Nani? Does this mean I could march as a member of the Shinsengumi? It seemed rather inappropriate for me to ask to participate just for curiosity's sake. Still, I very much hope to be helpful in some way. Could I perhaps do something like what I'd done at the Ikeda Inn? Yeah, I was helpful. However, there's also the chance that I become a hindrance as opposed to helping them out. I mean, I feel honored, you guys, but I kinda have to stay with my boy Souji, so, you know, I'll stay behind on this. I'll stay behind. Harada seemed to possess a still heart, garnering a voice that was slow but at peace. He didn't respond to my words, but he smiled kindly. Part of me felt safer leaving, just to avoid being in anyone's way, but I also wanted to stay here, appreciating this moment of peace for once. Although, how could I justify participating when I wasn't a true member of the Shinsengumi? I bottled up my feelings of contemplation, and I just returned to the headquarters. A few days passed. Your medicine's ready. I was carrying medicine and some hot sake. The medicine was Ishida medicinal powder, which was manufactured by Hijikata's family. A powdered medicine manufactured and sold by Toshizo Hijikata's family. It claimed to aid with bone settings, bruises, muscular pains, and minor cuts. Nice.
Give that to Souji and Haiseki. And Sanan too, while you're at it.
Sanan's eyebrows rose at the mention of his name.
Oh? Do you really think I need this? My injuries have already healed.
Just give it a shot, Sanan. They say this stuff works on just about anything. Sanan rolled his eyes, but reached over to take his portion of medicine and sake. At least take the sake. He had been telling the truth, though. His injuries had healed, at least as much as they were going to, but his arm still refused to work properly. It was slowly becoming clear that it would probably never work properly again. Poor guy.
Man, that Ishida powder with hot sake is the best. I'm so jealous of you guys.
Then why don't you have some? You're still hurt, aren't you?
I want to drink sake too, but unfortunately my injuries have all recovered.
Nakakura was injured at the Ikeda Inn, but he recently declared that he was completely healed, despite the fact his wounds still looked painful. So manly. I had heard he had convinced Hijikata that his wounds weren't as bad as Okita or Heisuke's.
I would never have thought that Todo or Okita would return from the fight injured.
That's only because it was so dark in there. It wasn't a fair fight, okay? He came out of nowhere and broke my headguard right in half.
He split it in half just by punching it. That's pretty damn impressive.
Heisuke muttered something bitter and angry under his breath, but Harada just laughed.
And what else? I heard one of them got away from you, Okita.
Okita only smiled quietly as Nagakura gestured toward him. He wants to get him one day. It won't happen again. Next time I will win. I like the confidence. Everyone began sharing their experience at the inn. Saito, however, remained silent. Is there something bothering you? I kept my voice low so as not to interrupt any of the other men in their conversations.
I've been thinking, why were there men strong enough to defeat Souji at Ikeda? They claim not to be members of the Choshu, but I've no doubt the proprietors of the inn wouldn't have allowed just anyone in that night.
Oh.
If they entered undetected, it begs the question of how, in addition to why. Or were they exploiting their connection? I suppose all we know for sure is that these two men possess impressive strength and skill.
The sliding door suddenly flew open as Saito finished his sentence and Kondo appeared.
We've received orders from the Aizu domain.
As all conversation ceased, eyes turned to Kondo.
In preparation for a Choshu attack, the Shinsengumi has been ordered to the front.
A cheer went up from everyone present.
Finally! It's about goddamn time! Too bad for you, Heisuke. Can't go and fight if you're injured, can you?
What? Come on, this is different!
He turned to Hijikata, clearly hoping that the commander might give him special leave to go.
No, it's not. You'll stay here and guard our headquarters.
Wah! You're a real monster, Hijikata, you know that? A demon!
Did you just ask me to gut you? Because that's what I heard.
Wait.
Okay.
Heisuke's mouth snapped shut. I didn't think Hijikata would actually stab one of his own men, but neither did I think he would go easy on any of them, even if they were injured.
The injured are a burden, so we shall remain here and guard the compound like obedient soldiers.
Fine. I guess I can't help it. I'll stay behind this time.
I guess I'll have to pass too. I'd like to go, but I'm just not 100% yet. Maybe I'll go cool down outside.
Can I join you? Okita got up to leave. I assume I'll be staying here as well? Kondo nodded.
Yes, I'll need you to keep tabs on Heisuke and Souji. I don't want them moping around.
He let out a short laugh and several men grinned. Well, in this case, I'm happy to. Before long, the Shinsengumi had left for the front, leaving only a handful of soldiers in the silent compound. So, what should I be doing when they're out? Oh, right. Kondo had asked me to keep an eye on Okita and Heisuke. I think Okita was in the inner courtyard. To be honest, I was a little concerned for him with our budding romance and all. He was still recovering, and being out in the cold air wasn't doing him any favors in that regard. Still, that left Haisuke and Sanan. Maybe they're still in the common room. Haisuke seemed particularly frustrated at being forced to stay behind, and Sanan had been even colder and more distant lately. I was worried for Okita, of course, but I felt there was something deeper affecting the other two. Yeah, I know they're in trouble and stuff, but... Okita. Right? We gotta go to Okita. For a midsummer afternoon, the air was pleasant, making the courtyard a pleasant place to sit. He was sitting off in a corner in the shade, gazing up at the summer sky. I turned to look as well. It was a brilliant blue, and a distant breeze pushed white wisps of cloud at both ends. How long was it since I last looked up at the sky? It wasn't too long ago. Oh, sorry. Far too long, I thought, as I stretched out my arms up, soaking in the sunshine and cool, clear air. Then at last I turned back to where Okita was, or perhaps had been, sitting. While I'd been enjoying the summer sky, he'd approached, and now he was right in front of me. Ugh. My body stiffened, and I felt my eyes widen. He raised a quizzical eyebrow.
You don't need to worry about me. I'm not out here making a plan to escape or something.
That's not what I'm worried about. True, he didn't seem like he was desperate to leave and join the fight, unlike Haisuke.
Really? Well, that's good, I suppose. You are worried about something, though. Something else.
His mouth twisted into a small smile. I decided to tell him. You're still not in the best condition. It isn't good for you to be out in the cold for too long.
You are worried about my health, then? Thanks. I'll try and stay out of the cold, all right.
Okita had always seemed a little mean. Until that moment, I would never have thought I'd hear him thank me for worrying about him. I wasn't sure what to say. Both of us appeared to have run out of things to say, and silence fell across the courtyard. I didn't want to scold him and then simply leave from my room, but... There had to be something thoughtful I could say. I hope your injury heals soon. Not that. Okita laid his hand on his chest absently and looked across the courtyard at nothing.
Well, it's not a sword wound, so I'll heal fast enough. I'm fine, is what I'm saying.
He was right, and that should have given him cause for joy, but his face didn't change. He blinked and looked back down at me. Are you, thinking about Sanan? He'd made a point to say, you. Although he'd left it unsaid, I could see he was worrying about the man we both knew wouldn't be fine. Sanan's arm wasn't going to heal, at least not completely. It would never again hold a sword. Okita said nothing. He cocked his head and smiled. I felt my cheeks getting warmer from blushing. Sorry if I was being too nosy. I apologized, but he warmed up and shook his head from left to right. I couldn't tell what his intentions were. What are your intentions towards Chizaru? Okita smiled deepened just a little.
You're a weird one, you know that.
Weird? Maybe I looked upset, but he called me weird. For no reason.
You're really weird. Look, you don't need to worry about me, kid. I wasn't careful enough. There's only one person to blame, and that's me.
What? No, you shouldn't blame yourself. Okita hadn't done anything wrong. He followed his orders and did the best he could. I didn't see how he could say what had happened was his fault. When I looked up, his smile was gone, and I couldn't bring myself to say anything more. He glanced down at me, then looked at the sky.
The sky is beautiful today, isn't it?
Yes. The midsummer sun shone down. I felt a breath of warmth in the cool air. White clouds danced across the blue expanse, flying gracefully. Where were the men who'd marched off earlier now, I wondered. Yes, how did that go? The Choshu extremists' attempted attack on the imperial estate eventually came to be known as the Hamaguri Rebellion. The incident wherein the forces of the Choshu domain fought the shogunate in the Shinsengumi near Hamaguri Gate to regain power in the government after they were expelled. Although the Shinsengumi were called to action, their efforts were stymied, and they found little in the way of glory. Communication with their superiors was poor at best, and they spent much of the battle waiting with the reserves. When the Shinsengumi finally entered the battle, each man found several strange opponents awaiting him. Oh, him again. Chikage Kazuma, who defeated Okita at Ikeda, claimed to be from the Satsuma domain during his encounter with Hijikata. A very skilled man with apparent ties to the Satsuma domain. His extreme strength and prowess with swords rivals that of even the best Shinsengumi swordsman. Can I click on Satsuma now? Nope. I'm gonna have to look up Satsuma. Can I? Yes, I can do it from here. A domain governed by an opposition daimyo named Shimazu. They initially supported imperial unification, but they eventually allied with Choshu in the interest of removing the shogun. Now this guy... Kyoju Amagiri, the man who shattered Heisuke's head guard at Ikeda, also claimed membership in the Satsuma. Oh my. They had also met Kyo Shiranui, who'd fought alongside men from Choshu. So many people. A man with incredible skill, he is connected to the Choshu domain. His gunplay is very impressive, and it takes the Shinsengumi by surprise. Whoever they were, it was clear they were not allies of the Shinsengumi. Indeed, it seemed they could easily become some of its greatest enemies. If they were to meet in open battle, the casualties would be severe. By the time the battle was over, the commanders of the Choshu attack had been killed in the fighting, or took their own lives. There were some soldiers, however, who escaped, setting Kyoto ablaze as they fled. By some terrible misfortune, winds that day blew from the north and fanned the flames, reducing the southern end of the imperial estate to ash. As a result of the Choshu attack, many imperial nationalists were executed. With the Hamaguri Rebellion over, the Choshu were branded as traitors for attacking the estate. From then on, they were acknowledged enemies of the court. A traitor to the court, often used to refer to rebels. There's been a lot of stuff happening, apparently. That's the slowest fade-in we've had this whole episode. Alright, now Chikage Kazuma's status has been released. Status? Not warrior record? I gotta look at that. It's November. Has all of my blustering been for nothing? Bluster, bluster. Okay, hold on, I need to look. I need to know. He's unlocked now, but I mean, I would still go in order from here to here. Whatever. I can't believe you can date this guy. That's gonna be really weird. Just gonna close that for now, not even be tempted. Hold on a second, the stupid mouse. There we go, hide down there. November 1864. Summer turned into autumn, and the Imperialists kept quiet. Despite my regular presence in the Shinsengumi rounds, no news of my father came in that time. Days passed peacefully, one after another. The leaves were dancing on the wind one evening as I busied myself with cleaning. When? All right, almost done. Gradually, I'd been given more and more freedom to move around the compound. Nice. It's almost been a year since we've been here. I was given a few duties to manage, and as long as I was doing them, I could go wherever I needed. On days that I can't go on rounds, I've been helping around at the compound.
Hey, Chizaru. Working hard, eh?
Oh, hello. I set down my work and turned toward him.
The sun's almost down, so you should probably call it quits pretty soon.
You're a real hard worker, aren't you? Every time I see you, you're doing something else.
Are you on your way out?
Well, yeah. Duty calls.
Really? They weren't wearing their uniforms. That meant they weren't going on their rounds. Oh, I get it.
Yup, heading out to Shimabara. Don't worry, we'll be back before morning.
We're just going for drinks, alright? That's it. Just drinking.
If you have to say that, then you're clearly not.
Well, except for Shin, who's totally going for the girls.
Called out.
Hey, come on, she didn't need to know that.
So you are. Ha!
Good. Anyway, you hold down the fort for us, alright? If the commander asks, don't let him know, okay? Just make something up. Thanks!
Why did you... Now I'm an accomplice to this. I wish I didn't know anything. What? They left me with a difficult task. Anyway, I need to go finish cleaning up the courtyard. It was almost time for dinner, and I wanted to be done before I had to eat. I was dumping out the leaves I'd gathered when... Huh? I could hear some kind of commotion coming from outside of the house. What is that? Kids? I quickly put the broom away and hurried toward the entrance. Gathered just inside the front gate were about 10 children. Standing in the middle of them was... Okita!
Oh, hey, Chizaru. Don't see you out here in front very often.
What are you doing? Who are these children?
Oh, don't worry. I didn't kidnap them or anything. I was bored. Figured they could play with me.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure how to respond, but Okita grinned. So are they all your... friends?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. They take care of me.
Oh. Usually adults play with kids, not the other way around. Although, making kids play with him did seem like something Okita would do.
So, Chizaru, you want to come play with us?
Oh, no. I shook my head. Is it really okay for you to let children in here?
Depends on what you mean by okay. If Hijikata finds us, he'll probably flip his shit.
I think he will.
The Sanan I used to know would probably be out here playing with us, but now... I don't think he'd be too happy about it.
Sanan playing with kids. Huh, that's an image. Doesn't that mean there's a pretty good chance you're going to get in trouble? He just grinned.
Probably. I think the others probably get pissed too. You're the only one who'd let it slide, I bet.
Then maybe you should send them home before you get caught.
Hey, keep your nose out of our business. We can play where we want.
What?
Yeah, butt out. We're playing with Souji.
It looked like they were awfully fond of him. Could I really just leave them alone, though? That didn't seem right either. I thought about it for a minute before I spoke. This is the headquarters of the Shinsengumi. It's a place for men to do, work. You really shouldn't be playing here.
Why? Soji's part of the Shinsengumi and he's playing with us. So what's the big deal?
No, but that's because they're out on patrol. They're catching bad guys and keeping Kyoto safe.
No, they're not. They're just killing people.
Can't deny that. Sometimes people don't do what they're supposed to, so every so often we gotta off someone. But it's not like we just kill people for fun.
wasn't sure what to make of his smile. He's always talking about killing people. I probably hear him talk about death every day. To be honest, I don't have any idea how he really feels about it. Is killing people a big deal for him? Or is it just something he does?
The Shinsengumi are a bunch of weirdos. Why should they get to order us around?
I mean, Okita's like very like, you're right, kids, so you know what? You might have a point. I guess you've got a point. I had to admit, he was a little convincing. I don't think they're bad people, but they are kind of rough, I guess.
See?
Besides, my dad told me that the Shinsengumi guys are always going to Shinabara. How about that?
Well, based on what happened earlier, I couldn't deny that. Among the Shinsengumi, there are a few exemplary people, but I guess from the outside, they just knew how to attract trouble.
Wait, Chizaru. Don't tell me you're taking this seriously.
Well, I mean, the Shinsengumi is taking really good care of me. It feels wrong not to stick up for them, but...
What? Because they keep bringing up valid points and you can't figure out a good comeback?
Yes. I'm so pleased that you can't come up with a good comeback. Oh, Okita. Oh, Chizaru. You're way too honest to live here. You don't have to laugh at me.
And you don't need to get so bent out of shape about it. I'm just teasing you. To be honest, I totally agree. I'm with the Shinsengumi 100%, but I sure can't blame people if they get the wrong idea about us.
I had to wonder if it was really okay for him to say things like that in public. He didn't seem to care at all, but that just made me more worried.
See, even Souji says they're a bunch of bad people, right?
No, that's not it at all. Try as I might, I couldn't just ignore them, even if they were children. Yes, I know a lot of them are kind of scary, but they're really not bad people.
Oh, come on. How can a scary person be a good person? They all look like bad guys.
I don't think so.
Well, what about Hijikata? He always looks so serious. I'm not even sure he knows how to not frown.
Were you not here when Iba was visiting?
Oh hey, Sanan. He looks pretty scary when he's not smiling.
Well, yes, but... He was siding with the children! I didn't know what I was supposed to do. Well, I can't say they're not scary, but... I was out of ideas. Kondo, the chief of the Shinsengumi, he's really nice. He's a good person. He wasn't just good compared to the rest of the Shinsengumi either. Anyone who meets Kondo instantly becomes charmed by his warm aura. But the children didn't seem convinced. Darn kids.
Wait, isn't that chief guy the dumb one?
What?
Yeah, I saw him taking a walk the other day. He was just grinning like an idiot.
How is he in charge of anything? He's a wuss.
At least the other guys look like they could handle themselves in a fight, you know.
I think there's more to being in charge than looking like you can fight. Was that really how Kondo looked to them?
The Shinsengumi are a bunch of losers because that guy's in charge.
Stop it! Stop being so mean! You don't understand. I took a step toward them, but Okita held out an arm and smiled to me.
Whoa there, Chizaru. Calm down, okay? They're only kids. You don't need to get mad.
But...
Forget about her. Let's get back to playing.
Okay.
Okita! He didn't even seem to have heard me and walked over to the children with a smile.
So, what do you want to do? Want me to lift you up?
Yeah, okay, you're pretty tall.
Yes, I am. Really comes in handy sometimes.
He grabbed the child. Oh no. Aww. Aw, my heart just melted. Darn you, Souji.
Upsy daisy.
Whee!
Okita grunted with effort and lifted the grinning child up over his head. I had mixed feelings.
Isn't this fun? Being up high really gives you a new perspective, huh?
Yeah!
Please be careful with him. How long was he planning to have him? Leave him up there. It was starting to feel like quite a while.
Hey, Souji, you can let him down now.
Oh, come on now. No need to be shy. I loved getting picked up like this when I was a kid.
What? Oh no. I saw a realization dawn on the child's face and excitement quickly turned to fear.
Ah!
Happy enough to cry, huh?
His voice was cold. Oh my god. Souji! Why are you like this? Okita wasn't smiling anymore.
Let me down!
I blinked. Why was I just watching? Stop that! He's just a child!
Stop what? Chizaru, we're just playing.
That's not what it looks like.
I'm sorry, I'm really sorry.
What are you apologizing for? I was taught you're supposed to say thank you when somebody does something nice for you.
Okita, you're scaring him.
We're really sorry, Souji. We were wrong.
I promise I won't ever say anything bad about the Shinsengumi ever again. Please, just let me go.
Reluctantly, Okita lowered the boy back down. I tried my best to calm them down and then quickly sent all the children back home before Okita changed his mind.